guys, welcome back. My name is Rachel Elise. This is the He Heals podcast, and we're on episode 3. Today, I want to share with you how God has been healing me from substance abuse. Now, this is one that I've been kind of nervous to talk about, even though I've talked about it on my social media. It's a vulnerable thing for me because don't know how people are going to react, but it is a testimony. God is healing me through this, and so I'm going to talk about it. So the first time I smoked weed was in high school. It was like a one-time, maybe two-time, I don't know, thing and it was just whatever. Then when I was 19 years old, I got into a relationship with someone who, by definition, was a pothead. Now, I'm not trying to talk down about this person. It's literally by definition, a daily habitual user. And so eventually, since I'm hanging out with this person a lot, I'm in this environment, our friends are doing it, it just became something that I did as well. And I would smoke on the regular. And it got to the point where I was smoking every day. And it's because as someone who struggles with anxiety, weed was instant relief for me. Now, I talked about anxiety on the last episode. So if you haven't seen it, go watch episode 2. Because it is related. But yeah, for someone who has anxiety, it was literally instant relief. I could be feeling anxious about something, nervous about something, or even on the verge or in the midst of a full-on anxiety attack, and I could smoke, and I don't know how to describe it other than getting relief, relaxation. The thoughts in my mind would calm down, and I am in no way condoning this. I'm no way condoning the use of marijuana for anxiety. I'm not at all, because it honestly made it worse for me. But I'll continue in the story. So I was smoking basically every day, and it got to the point where life was better when I was high. And looking back, that was such a sad place to be. And at the time it was fun because food tasted better and movies were funnier and just life was better and more interesting when I was high. And at the time, I don't really think I thought anything wrong with that because I was just enjoying it. However, at that time, I was actually deepening my relationship with God. And I started to feel convicted. And I didn't like that. But, I knew there was just something in my heart that was telling me that, this wasn't right. And actually, it was one day, I remember it actually pretty clearly, but I was on the verge of an anxiety attack. I smoked, and I remember having this revelation, and God told me that I had made weed my God. I was like, what? Hold up, what are you talking about? But if you look back in Exodus 20, it's literally the first commandment, thou shalt not have other gods before me. And I was putting it together, thinking about it, and when I was in distress, when I was in need, I would smoke first. And then I would pray about it. So I would go to weed first, and then I would go to God. I had literally made weed my God. And I wish I could tell you that I stopped smoking that day, but I didn't. I was still going through a lot. And it wasn't until I went through a breakup. And I know I've talked about this before, and I'll probably talk about this time in my life many more times because it was just so monumental to me. But I was just so desperate for God and so desperate for healing that I was like, okay, God, I'm giving you all of me. Like, so if you're wondering, like, how to overcome addiction, then for me, I'll tell you what I did. I just quit cold turkey. I stopped. And I was completely sober for 8 months. And that was so important. That time was so important to me because I stripped. Not only did I take out weed and stop smoking, I also like stopped binge watching Netflix. I didn't watch any movies or any shows. Well, I guess I can't say that because I probably did like watch stuff with other people, like when we were hanging out. But like by myself, did not watch any TV or movies. I only watched church sermons, and I cut out secular music. I only listened to Christian music, and I was just really, really serious about healing. And so I wanted to give God my everything. Yeah, so that is my story of weed addiction. And at that time, and now I realize that I really do like myself better not high. I like myself better sober. Because for me personally, like, yeah, it gave me the relaxation and relief from anxiety, but the truth is there was more side effects. There was more negative than positive. So for me, it increased my anxiety. Even to the point where like I was paranoid. I didn't want to be out in public because I would just be thinking like, oh my gosh, they can see my eyes. They know I'm high. Like, it was just not a good time. So I like myself better sober. And while we're on this topic, I just want to share a little bit more about this. And it really is my own opinion, not just as someone who has experience with smoking, but also like as an RN, as a nurse. It is something that I have researched, and so I don't want you to feel completely awful if you smoke, because I do believe that there are benefits. Research has shown that using marijuana for medical purposes does help with nausea, vomiting, and chronic pain, muscle spasms. So there's that. However, more research is needed, and there probably is more research happening right now. I don't know. But like I said, there are negative side effects: increased anxiety, paranoia, increased appetite, short-term memory loss, and lethargy. And those are all the ones that I have personally experienced. And so I think you kind of just have to outweigh the risks and benefits for you. But on top of that, from my personal experience and people that I've come across in my life, I know that there are a lot of people who are using marijuana to cope. And I think that's a very dangerous thing to do. I've seen the negative effects in my life and how I literally became addicted. But also I just want you to reflect and you to pray about this, and ask God to show you what's the right thing for you to do, because I don't know your life like that, and I can't really speak to that, but I just want you to talk to God and pray about it. So I want to end this with a Bible verse, because as I was researching all of this Bible verse came up, and it's Hebrews 12, 1 through just 1. I don't know. But it says, "Therefore, since we are surrounded by such a great cloud of witnesses, let us also lay aside every weight and sin which clings so closely, and let us run with endurance the race that is set before us, looking to Jesus, the founder and perfecter of our faith, who for the joy that was set before him endured the cross, despising the shame, and is seated at the right hand of the throne of God." So I hope that this is an encouragement to you, because for me, the weight of this addiction was way too heavy, and I needed to release this in order to seek my healing. It was something that I had to let go, and I didn't want to let it go. Honestly, it's something that I still struggle with. Like, when I'm having a rough day, like, I want to smoke. Like, I get that urge, I get that thought, and it's something that I still deal with, that I have to remind myself, like, who am I going to? What am I going to for my comfort? And so I want to encourage you, whatever that sin is that you're dealing with, whatever that weight is, maybe it's not marijuana, maybe it's alcohol, maybe it's another drug, maybe it's not even a drug, maybe it's food, maybe it's something that you wouldn't even consider a sin, but it's holding you back from running towards God and pursuing your calling in Him and your purpose in Him, or healing in Him. If it's holding you back, you need to let it go so you can run to Him. All right, that is it for this episode. Thank you so much for watching. I want to encourage you to share this episode. Share it on your social media, tag me, because someone out there needs to hear this. You can also follow me on Instagram. I'm at Rachel Elise with 3 underscores. And also go check out my blog. I have weekly encouragement for you there. It's at rachelelise.com. All right, I'll see you guys next time.